On the news tonight, federal government enters 2 years window to permanently end transmission of polio across the country. Gombe State resident urged to stay alert following urgent warning of possible increase in Lassa fever cases. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu nominates new chairman and chief executive of officers, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. Good evening and welcome to 25 News. My name is Ibrahim Atal. Nigeria is entering a critical 2 years window to permanently end the transmission of polio across the country. The federal government, in its powerful alliance with the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Aliko Dangote Foundation, has launched a high-level advocacy drive to finish the job started years ago. While Nigeria successfully eliminated the world polio virus in 2020, this new push is specifically targeting the total interruption of circulating variant poliovirus types 2 and 3. The joint delegation recently traveled to Gombe to meet with Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, who serves as the chairman of the National Economic Council task team on polio eradication. The delegation, led by NHPHCDA Executive Secretary Dr. Mui Aina and Chris Alias of the Gates Foundation, emphasized that the final phase of this battle requires more than just medicine. It requires intensified political commitment. They noted that the success of the next 25 months depends on high-quality immunization campaign, particularly in communities that have historically been hard to reach. Dr. Aina praised Governor Yahaya's leadership in driving national engagement on strengthening ethical accountability across the 36 states. Mrs. Chris Alias echoed this, stating that Nigerian progress is directly linked to governors taking proactive ownership of the health agenda. In a firm response, Governor Yahaya pledged to mobilize his colleagues, especially those in frontline states, to ensure that life-saving intervention reach the grassroots. As chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum, he also committed to working closely with traditional rulers to counter vaccines misinformation. The governor stressed that polio vaccines misinformations. The governor stressed that polio eradication is a national development imperative because of its direct impact on a child survival and the long-term economic productivity of the nation. Residents within and around Gombe metropolis are being urged to stay alert following urgent warning of possible increase in Lassa fever cases. The Gombe State Ministry of Health report that surveillance signals detected since November 2025 indicated a rising risk of the disease, particularly originating from neighboring Taraba, Bauchi states. Health authorities say the timing of this risk is critical as it coincides with the dry season, a period when many Gombe youths travel to Taraba for dry season farming and rice harvesting. State epidemiologist Dr. Nuhu Belebai has issued a call to who has recently traveled for agricultural activities. If you are experiencing symptoms such as a persistent fever or sore throat, you are advised to seek medical attention immediately. The ministry has designated General Hospital in Talase, Kalchingo, and Zambuk as key centers for treatment, though residents can report to any health facilities closest to them. For those unable to reach a hospital quickly, suspect cases can be reported by sending a text message to 0810-337-1257. I take that number again, 081-0337-1257. Dr. Bale emphasized that early reporting significantly improves the chances of survival. To encourage transparency and rapid response, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Habu Dahiru, has assured the public that all Lassa fever treatments are provided free of charge at all designated state facilities. Beyond medical treatment, the public is urged to maintain strict hygiene standards. This includes storing food in rodent-proof containers and limiting contact with rats, which are the primary carriers of the virus. Lassa fever remains a deadly threat, but authorities believe that through community vigilance and proper hygiene, the spread can be contained. The newly posted controller of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Gombe State Command, has paid a familiarization visit to the Secretary of the State Government, SSG, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar and Jodi, at a government house, Gombe. Hussein Hassan Aliu informed the Secretary of the State Government that his command is committed to rendering the best service to state with utmost professionalism. While appreciating the support of the command by Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yaya's administration, the controller appealed for continuous support to the command and other sister security agencies, especially with logistics, to enable them to perform optimally for the peace and progress of the state and nation as a whole. The press statement signed by the information officer of the SSG's officer Joshua Adam Malam said the SSG Professor Ibrahim Abubakar and Jodi appreciated the role and contribution of the Nigerian Immigration Service, especially in checking illegal immigrants, issuance of passport, and maintenance of peace and order. He said the service in Gombe is doing well and called on the new healthman to do better. Responding, the Secretary of the State Government, Professor Ibrahim Jodi, assured him of Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yaya's administration continuous support to the service and other security agencies, and directed him to write through his office some of the immediate logistics needs for consideration within the limited resources of Gombe. Professor Jodi told Immigration Board to always write through his office a monthly report so that government will be well informed about the activities for timely action where possible. In a move to sanitize the state's social fabric and protect the vulnerable, the Gombe State Government has reaffirmed its zero-tolerance policy on gender-based violence. Speaking on behalf of the government, First Lady Hajia Asma'u Inuwa Yahya, through the Commissioner for Women Affairs, issued a stern warning to offenders. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition or VAP law is now in full effect. She declared the era of looking on the other way is over, and anyone found guilty of such crimes will face the full weight of the law without exception. The First Lady message was clear. Protection of women and children is a priority that will not be compromised. During the briefing, 11 survivors of gender-based violence were hailed for their immense courage by choosing to speak out. These individuals have helped break the cycle of silence that often protect abusers in our communities. The bravery is being used as catalyst for a statewide shift in how abuse is handled. A major milestone in this campaign was reached as the religions and traditional leaders came forward to sign a landmark commitment. These leaders have pledged to stop the practice of shielding offenders or settling cases of abuse through informal traditional means. By signing this document, they have agreed that justice must take its course through the legal system. The Gombe State Government believes that with the VAP law in full force and the support of community leaders, the state can create a safer environment where victims feel empowered to seek justice and perpetrators are held accountable for their actions. The Gombe State Women Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria, popularly known as WICAN, has returned home in glory after being crowned overall champion at the Northeast Regional Conference. The event, which recently concluded in Taraba State, saw Gombe representatives dominate across multiple competitive categories. In a statement released by the state chairperson, Mrs. Macy Francis, she proudly announced that the Gombe State contingents took the first position in the Bible quiz competition, the songs of praise presentation, and the ceremonial march pass. In addition to their competitive success, Gombe was recognized for its high level of engagement, recording the largest number of registered participants among all the states in the Northeast region. Mrs. Francis expressed her immense pride in women, praising not just their skills but their conduct and active participation throughout the conference. She attributed this sweeping victory to the collective dedication of the women and was described as the grace of God following months of preparation. The victory comes with a new responsibility as Gombe State has now been officially selected to host the next regional conference scheduled from February 2025. Mrs. Francis used the occasion to express deep gratitude to the Gombe State government for its consistent moral and financial support towards religious activities. She noted that such support has created an environment where a religious group can thrive and represent the state effectively on a regional stage. She also thanked the wider Christian community for their prayers and financial contribution, which ensure the state and a successful and impactful outing at the conference. The Women in Chemistry Week Gombe State chapter, in collaboration with the Chemical Society of Nigeria, CSN, hosted the Global Women's Breakfast GWB 2026 at the Gombe State College of Education building with a theme, Many Voices, One Science, Connecting Women, Strengthening Science. The event brought together scientists, academic students, and other stakeholders to promote gender inclusion, mentorship, collaboration, and capacity building in science. Associate Professor Danja also delivered a keynote address where she spoke intensively on the theme of the program, emphasizing the importance of collective voices, collaboration, and inclusivity in strengthening scientific advancement. The program featured a series of representations, including mentorship across a generation, lifting women in science through shared voices by Professor Abdul Razak Bello of the Federal University Kayseri, transforming science education, empowering women and girls through chemistry by Dr. Christiana A. Kedan-son. This one will also benefit from a presentation titled Many Voices, One Science Building Collaborative Network for Scientific Impact, delivered by Dr. Ishaku M. Sani of Northeastern University. This was followed by group discussion and action points aimed at sustaining collaboration and mentorship among women in science. Other highlights of the program include network session, laboratory visitation coordinated by the laboratory coordinators and technical staff, mentorship and experience sharing session, as well as goodwill messages among others. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nominated Ambassador Ismail Ubay Yusuf to serve as the new chairman of the Chief Executive Officer of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. The appointment is subject to confirmation by the Senate in accordance with the provision of the NACOM Act 2026. According to the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Anumuga, the President dispatched a formal letter to Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Wednesday requesting an expeditious confirmation process. Ambassador Yusuf is slated to replace Professor Abdullahi Usman, who resigned from the position earlier this week after serving for approximately 14 months. Ambassador Yusuf is a seasoned career diplomat with intensive international experience. He most recently served as the Nigerian ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to the Republic of Turkey between 2021 and 2024. The transition comes at a critical time for the Commission as it prepares for upcoming pilgrims operations. The Presidency noted that the appointment is part of ongoing effort to strengthen the leadership of key national institutions. On the economic front, the federal government has ordered NAFDAC to suspend the enforcement of the ban on sachet alcohol and 20 ml PET bottles. 200 ml PET bottles, I beg your pardon. The Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation cited potential security risks, mass unemployment, and economic disruption as key reasons for the reversal. NAFDAC has been instructed to stop sealing factories and warehouses until a harmonized national alcohol policy is fully implemented, ensuring that informal distribution networks are not destabilized. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMAT, has released its 2026 seasonal climate prediction. Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo warned farmers in states like Kano, Niger, rivers of early rainfall, but caution against immediate planting as extreme weather is expected between March and May. The report predicts severe dry spell, some lasting up to 21 days across northern states in mid-summer, while the prolonged August break-up of the 40 days is expected to hit Lagos and Ogun. In a significant shift in international defense relationship, the United States is set to deploy 200 additional troops to Nigeria. This follows the late 2025 resignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the U.S. government. This troop will provide technical expert and training in Nigeria forces to identify terrorist targets but would not engage in direct combat. This heightened collaboration was underscored by the Christmas Day 2025 Tomahawk missile strike on ISIS target in Sokoto State, an operation coordinated between the U.S. Navy and Nigerian authority. To end the news, a recap of some of the major stories. Brought to you that federal government enters 2 years window to permanently end the transmission of polio across the country. We also brought to you that Gombe State residents urged to stay alert following urgent warning of possible increase in Lassa fever. Finally, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu nominates new chairman and chief executive of National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. That is the news on 25. My name is Ibrahim Tal. You can stand by for the house version.
Eniola, calm down.
Calm down? What if I ruin everything? Auntie Amina is coming. Just pass the beef and dawa cubes. No, Hassan. With Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush. Chef of life. I am the chef of life. Chef of life with Mr. Chef.
Eniola, you've got this.
Sanu Mama, Sanu Baba.
Hassan, why do you look so lean?
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is a true taste of home
And culture.
Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
Chef.